If you know any registered Democrats that live in Riverside, Black Rock, the West Side, Hamburg, Pinehurst, basically any registered Democrat that lives pretty close to Lake Erie, south of Grand Island but north of Derby, listen up. The polls are open right now for the Democratic primary for Assembly District 149, meaning all registered Democrats that live in the 149th have until June 23rd to go to a polling place and cast their vote in who they think the Democratic Party should run in the re-election, the general election in November. The 149th is a state assembly district, meaning this is an election to determine who's going to represent this area in Albany, okay, at the state level government. If you live in the 149th, your representative right now in the assembly is a guy named Jonathan Rivera. But Jonathan Rivera is not going to run for re-election because he's going to make a bid to try to move up into the New York State Senate, which leaves his seat empty. And there are 3 Democrats who want Jonathan Rivera's old job. There are 3 Democrats right now that are trying to get their name on the ticket so they can run in the general election, the real election in November, as a candidate to represent the 149th down in Albany. Those 3 Democrats are Adam Bojack, Karen Hoke, and Kevin Deese. And look, I never tell people what I think they should think, but I have no problem telling people what I think because I find other people's opinions and thoughts and realizations to be very useful data. So I am willing to be your useful data. But for what it's worth, I really want Adam Bojack to win this primary. I really want Adam Bojack to run to actually represent the 149th in Albany. I do not live in the 149th, but I do live in New York State. No matter where you live in New York, it's all the same Albany. And Bojack just so happens to have politics that are incredibly similar to mine. Karen Hoke has politics that are very different than mine. And Kevin Deese is, I don't know what he thinks or believes. He's all over the map every time he talks to reporters. But look, Adam Bojack is the exact same age as me. He's from East Aurora, just down the road from me. Bojack's dad was a post office worker. His mom was a civilian who worked for the school district in East Aurora. He's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, just like me. Bojack went to law school, moved to the city of Buffalo, and became a tenants' rights lawyer. The guy, lived it, okay? Trying to hold slumlords to account, trying to buy time for people who are going through eviction notices. People who are involved in, activism in Buffalo know this guy. He shows up to shit. For example, right after what happened to Renee Good and Alex Preddy, a bunch of activist organizations here in Buffalo went to the ICE office in Buffalo, had a press conference outside and say, yeah, we're sick of this shit. This is out of control. We don't want ICE here in Buffalo either. And Adam Bojack showed up and he spoke and he did not mince words.
ICE does not care about the Constitution. They do not care about state laws. They do not care about civil and human rights. The only thing they care about is serving President Trump and his fascist administration.
But look, he isn't even on the ticket right now, right? He can't be the actual Democratic Party nominee to run for the 149th until he wins this primary. So if you know anybody in the 149th, tell them this is going on, have them Google these candidates, read their websites, read the news, read interviews that these candidates have been giving to the papers, and let them know they have until the 23rd to cast a ballot in this primary.